It's 10 a.m. by the studio clock. You're watching Breakfast News on Rajya TV. I'm Tina Jha. These are the headlines we are tracking this Friday morning. Landmark discovery for physics and astronomy. Scientists announced discovery of gravitational waves 100 years after Albert Einstein predicted it. Indian scientists play important part in discovery. India and the UAE signed 7 agreements to boost bilateral relations. Deals include cybersecurity, infrastructure, investment and insurance. UAE says structural reforms needed in India for attracting FDI. Last rites of Lance Naik Anumantappa to be conducted today. Soldier died on Thursday after being pulled out from under the snow in Siachen, where he was buried for 6 days. OddEven formula to return to Delhi from the 15th of April for a fortnight. Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal concedes public transport not capable of handling passenger rush. And world powers agreed to cessation of hostilities in Syria. Halt would not apply to fight against terror outfits. Russia warns of new world war if the Arab forces enter Syrian war. And our top focus this morning, in a landmark discovery for physics and astronomy, scientists announced yesterday that they have succeeded in detecting gravitational waves from the violent merging of 2 black holes in deep space. They say it is the culmination of decades of searching and could ultimately offer a window on the Big Bang. The detection has been hailed as a triumph for the billion-dollar physics experiment and as confirmation of a key prediction of Albert Einstein's general theory of relativity. Indian scientists also played an important role in this challenging quest.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have detected gravitational waves. We did it.
An announcement that has electrified the world of astronomy. A team of international scientists has claimed to have finally detected the gravitational waves, the ripples in the fabric of space-time, that Albert Einstein predicted a century ago. The team of researchers said they detected gravitational waves coming from 2 distant black holes, extraordinarily dense objects that orbited one another, spiraled inward and smashed together. These waves, they said, were the product of a collision between 2 black holes roughly 30 times the mass of the Sun, located 1.3 billion light years from Earth. To make sense of the signal first heard on the 14th of September, the scientists translated the wave into sound.
Did you hear the chirp? There's a rumbling noise and then there's a chirp.
The discovery of these waves excites astronomers because it not only confirms Einstein's major prediction of 1915, but also opens the door to a new way of observing the cosmos.
We can hear the universe. That's one of the beautiful things about this. We are not only going to be seeing the universe, we are going to be listening to it.
Einstein would be beaming, wouldn't he? This is obviously a very, very special moment.
As scientists, this is a project where thousands of human years were invested in, and now finally this goal presumably was reached and will take us now to a new era.
The phenomenon was observed by 2 US-based underground detectors designed to spot tiny vibrations from passing gravitational waves, a project known as the Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory, or LIGO. Indian scientists played a crucial role in the path-breaking project, including in data analysis. Several institutes, including Institute of Plasma Research, Gandhinagar, Inter-University Centre for Astronomy and Astrophysics, Pune, and Raja Ramanna Centre for Advanced Technology, Indore, were involved in the research. Their efforts were lauded by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The discovery has even been likened to the breakthrough moment when Galileo took up a telescope to look at the planets. Bureau Report, Rajya TV.
Indeed, a remarkable achievement and, of course, a very, very proud moment for India. Senior scientist at Vigyan Prasad, TV Venkatesh, who's also our in-house expert on science, spoke to a few physicists and professors of science in India about this historic achievement. One of them includes C.V. Vishweshwara, who himself worked on this theory 45 years ago. Listen in.
We have with us Professor Vishweshwara, who has a very key role in this historic day when for the first time we have the concrete evidence, direct evidence of gravitational wave. Sir, can you say a few words about it?
See, it has been a long quest to find the gravitational waves, and LIGO has recently found out the gravitational waves emitted by the merger of two black holes. And in my own case, I have been working on black holes for a long time, 50 years. First, I did the exploration of the structure of black holes and stability of black holes. And finally, I wanted to find out how you detect a black hole. In doing that, I did the scattering theoretical experiment on the computer, where you send in a very sharp pulse, and I found, amazingly enough, a wiggle comes out like this, and which came to be known as a quasi-normal modes, which has on it imprinted this signature of the black hole. And it was pointed out, it was first named quasi-normal modes, and then it was pointed out that it is exactly like the ringing of a bell, constant frequency or constant pitch, but decreasing in amplitude or the sound volume. So it came to be known as ringing down of the black hole.
When did you make this computation? Which year you made this computation?
1969, published in 1970 in Nature.
August 29, 1970. Imagine 40 years before, 45 years before, he worked out this squiggle. That's what today we have found.
Today, when they showed us what they had found out in the LIGO, at the very end, before there are a lot of gravitational waves, at the very end, this is the wiggle that came, that gave you the signature of the black hole that had been formed.
When you were 32, you made this computation.
Yeah.
Today you find that it's actually there.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Well, when I made that, it was purely theoretical. At that time, people didn't even know whether the black holes existed.
Yeah.
They didn't even know how to find the gravitational waves. So my own gut feeling was that both will become a reality, but it became reality. Black holes were discovered in another decade or so, and gravity waves, astronomical, came into existence. But now both have come together and produced this wiggle, which to me was a theoretical prediction, but now completely gratified and elated, and also very grateful in all respects to people who have encouraged me, and today to all of you.
How do you feel now?
I'm quite elated. The advanced LIGO detectors are kind of the extreme kind of instrumentation that's available on Earth, probably the most extreme that's on Earth. And though gravitational waves have been predicted a couple of decades ago, certain academia portions have already been skeptical that it will be possible to detect gravitational waves. And in spite of those skepticisms, the LIGO project team had been kind of pushing it ahead. And today is the day where they have indicated. And these are good times ahead in the sense that this opens up a new era of gravitational wave astronomy. And we believe that it's going to open up new eras of both techniques and instrumentation, and also new cosmological models of relevance to gravitational wave detection.
See, one of the question, for example, Aam Aadmi might have is, after all the detectors are in US,
Sure.
why are we so excited about it?
Fine. The detection was something which kind of puts us on a very sound footing in physics. So it's a very fundamental change. And physics is something which is universal. It's not limited to the US or to India or to any other place. If you have people living on other planets, probably they'll also be interested to know that there's a new physics evolving. And so it's not nation bound. Science is not limited by countries. The reason why in India we are excited, and specifically at Arakat we are excited, is because LIGO has been pushing the envelopes of all possible technologies, be it lasers, be it optics, be it seismic isolation, be it complex data acquisition, or even handling large data. And though this project brings all of them together and pushes the envelope, the fallouts or spin-outs from these have various consequences for various other applications. For example, if you build very precise lasers, they can work as standards of reference for other kinds of things. For example, if you build a laser with very narrow frequency, you can use it as a time standard. If you build optics of very high resolution, you can use it for calibration and interferometric measurements, which has industrial implications. Some of these technologies can be spun off for applications in medicine and other things. So it is very difficult to predict what exactly gets done, but I'm sure that the technological prowess that we develop as we build this technology in India should benefit and should percolate to a larger audience and would probably benefit the immediate applications in technology, and in the larger run, the longer run, the public also. The immediate effect that I see is that it is going to push a large number of students into science, which is necessary because we are a large population, and by ratio the amount of science students are very small. And we are going to dominate in terms of manpower in science in the future. And this is a good start because you would see that the scientific manpower is diminishing all over the world.
So we see that participation in such kind of major projects not only makes our contribution to the humanity in terms of building up new science, but also builds up our own capacity in terms of technology. Thank you. Thank you for this sparing time. This is Dr. TV Venkateswaran from Vigyan Prasar for Rajya Sabha TV.
All right, shifting focus to some other big news of the day. Abu Dhabi Crown Prince Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan will be in Mumbai today. He will visit the Bombay Stock Exchange and meet business leaders there. Earlier on Thursday, India and the UAE signed 7 agreements in various fields to enhance bilateral cooperation. He held talks with the Prime Minister and also discussed issues like threat of terror outfits like the Islamic State. The Crown Prince also met the President and the Vice President.
India and the UAE have signed 7 agreements, including on cybersecurity, infrastructure investment and insurance. The deals were inked after talks between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Abu Dhabi Crown Prince Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. At their restricted as well as delegation-level talks in Delhi, the two leaders deliberated extensively on combating threat of terrorism, including from ISIS, and explored ways to enhance bilateral cooperation in counter-terrorism, maritime security and defense. Soon after the meeting, Prime Minister Modi tweeted, "Productive interaction with His Highness Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Avenues of India-UAE cooperation are immense." The pact on cyberspace will provide for greater synergy between security agencies of the two countries to combat efforts to radicalize youths through online platforms, besides checking activities of terror groups. Expanding economic engagement, particularly in oil and renewable energy sector, and increasing the UAE's investment in India was a major focus area at the talks. Another pact was signed for creating a framework for facilitating participation of UAE's institutional investors in India's infrastructure sector, while a separate agreement provided for cooperation in the insurance sector. But as India eyes investment from the UAE, it has sought more structural reforms and an attractive climate for absorbing foreign direct investment. Anwar Gargash, the UAE's Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, said, and I quote, "It is important to have structural reforms in India. If you look at the FDI in India, it is not very large in comparison to the size of the Indian economy and its potential." A pact between Dubai Economic Council and Export-Import Bank of India will be signed today in Mumbai when the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi visits. The UAE has also sought India's cooperation for the first interplanetary expedition slated to be launched in 2020 after the success of ISRO's Mars Orbiter mission. Later in the day on Thursday, the Abu Dhabi Crown Prince also met President Pranab Mukherjee and Vice President Hamid Ansari. The President also hosted a lunch for the visiting leader. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Siachen Braveheart Lance Naik Hanumantappa's body has been kept in his home village in Karnataka for people to pay their last respects. His last rites will be conducted today after he breathed his last at the Army Hospital in Delhi yesterday. 3 days after he was miraculously rescued alive from beneath tons of snow, Lance Naik Hanumantappa passed away in the hospital in the morning yesterday from what doctors termed complete organ failure. Tributes and condolences for the martyr poured in from across the country. The Prime Minister said he was devastated by the soldier's death.
A sorrowful end to
to the hope that flickered when Lance Naik Hanamantappa was pulled out from under 35 feet of snow on Siachen Heights on Monday. The President, Vice President, Prime Minister and Defence Minister hailed the martyr.
It is a sad day for all of us. It is a sad day for the unit, 19 Madras, to which he belonged. It is a very sad day for the family to which he belonged, his wife, his other folks, his next of kin. He was a brave soldier who battled it out in the ice, buried under the snow for 6 days and then 3 days in the hospital.
सबसे पहले तो मैं उनकी बहादुरी को सैल्यूट करता हूं और अपनी श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित करता हूं और साथ ही ईश्वर से मैं प्रार्थना करता हूं कि उनके परिवार के सदस्यों को और उनके मित्रों को, उनके शुभचिंतकों को और इस देश को इस कष्ट को सहन करने की क्षमता प्रदान करें.
Consecutive health bulletins over the last 3 days from the Army Research and Referral Hospital in the capital spoke of multiple organ failure, brain swelling and near complete non-reaction to treatment. At 11:45 a.m. on Thursday, he breathed his last.
We tried our level best to fight death for this brave Siachen warrior, but today morning his blood pressure, despite our support, despite all our measures, dropped down and he had a cardiac arrest and died about 11:45 this morning.
The end hits these people, his family, the most. He leaves behind a grieving wife, a 2-year-old daughter. The miraculous rescue had raised hope in his village, Betadur in Karnataka, but it was short-lived. Later in the evening, Lance Naik's body was flown to his home state Karnataka. The state government has announced an ex gratia of Rs 25 lakh for the bereaved family. Chief Minister Siddharamaiah also announced a site, land, job for Hanamantappa's wife and memorial for the Braveheart. His last rites will be performed in his village Dettor in Dharwad today.
Government has decided to give to the deceased Hanamantappa Koppad, who has sacrificed his life for the sake of nation, 25 lakhs as ex gratia. In addition to ex gratia amount, we are also giving 2 acres of wetland or 4 acres of dry land, and also a job to his wife and a site nearby town to his village.
Lance Naik Hanamantappa's death, along with 9 comrades after landslide on the Siachen Heights on 3rd of February, brings fresh attention to the cruel conditions Jawans face on duty on the glacier. This brave heart clung to life, overcoming huge odds till death snatched him away. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
A tremendous loss for, of course, the family and the nation at large that lost a brave soldier. Moving on now, phase 2 of the OddEven formula for vehicle rationing in Delhi will begin once again on the 15th of April. The announcement was made yesterday by Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, who also said that the government is seriously considering making a fortnight fixture every month.
The second phase of the OddEven vehicle rationing scheme has been announced in Delhi. Women, VIPs and two-wheelers will remain exempted from restrictions.
तो अगला फेज हम लोग 15 अप्रैल से चालू कर रहे हैं. 15 अप्रैल का कारण है कि 12 अप्रैल को बोर्ड के एग्जाम खत्म हो रहे हैं, लार्जली खत्म हो रहे हैं. एक एग्जाम 22 अप्रैल को भी है, पर वो बहुत माइनर सा छोटा सा है. तो 15 अप्रैल से 30 अप्रैल तक अगला फेज 15 दिन का चालू कर रहे हैं.
The AAP government said that an overwhelming majority of respondents are in favor of reintroducing the scheme. In fact, the Delhi government said they are seriously deliberating the idea of enforcing the scheme every month for a fortnight. The Chief Minister, however, admitted that the city's public transport was not capable of handling the passenger rush. This time around, retired defence personnel will be recruited as traffic enforcement inspectors.
तो लगभग 500 रिटायर्ड डिफेंस पर्सनल को एम्प्लॉय किया जा रहा है एज ट्रैफिक इंस्पेक्टर्स, ट्रैफिक एनफोर्समेंट इंस्पेक्टर्स के तौर पे उनको रिक्रूट किया जा रहा है. 15 अप्रैल तक उनका रिक्रूटमेंट पूरा हो जाएगा और उनका ट्रेनिंग भी हो जाएगी. और 250 के करीब एनफोर्समेंट की टीम्स इन डिफेंस वालों की लीडरशिप में बनाई जाएगी।
The Chief Minister said that the government is procuring 3,000 new buses, including 1,000 luxury ones, which will be fielded by December as part of efforts to ramp up public transport. The government is also looking to construct a 2-floor elevated bus rapid transit corridor to augment transport infrastructure.
स्वच्छ वायु होनी चाहिए, इसके लिए दिल्ली का पॉल्यूशन ठीक हो, इसके लिए हम सब लोग कटिबद्ध हैं। लेकिन सरकार जिस तरह से बैकडोर के तरीके से काम कर रही है, मुझे लगता है कि इनकी नीयत साफ नहीं है, और वो इसलिए कि दिल्ली के अंदर से बड़ी मुश्किल से ब्लू लाइन कल्चर खत्म हुई है।
OddEven began basically for pollution, to get rid of pollution. I think the Kejriwal government has just closed its eyes and ears as far as pollution is controlled.
The formula was first implemented between January 1 and 15 after pollution levels in the national capital reached alarming levels. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Time for us to slip into a very short break. On the other side, more revelations by David Coleman Headley. Do stay with us.
These dynein motors, their function is proportional to their number. You need the same motor to do many different kinds of things inside the cell, and you may be able to tune that function just by tuning the number of the motor. This particular molecule, cholesterol, seems to be the basis on which these large teams are assembled.
Watch Eureka with Dr. Roop Malik, Associate Professor, TIFR, only on Rajya Sabha TV.
Thanks for staying with us. Now, David Coleman Headley's deposition before a Mumbai court continues for the 5th day today. Continuing his revelations and claims, Headley said that the Lashkar-e-Toiba was unhappy that the Mumbai airport was not selected and included as one of the targets in the 26/11 terror attack. He also said that Zakir Rahman Lakhvi had said that the attack should be done properly, as this was a chance to take revenge for all the bomb blasts India had done in the past in Pakistan. Headley had told the court on Thursday that Ishrat Jahan, the 19-year-old college student killed in an encounter in 2004 by the Gujarat police, was working for the Lashkar-e-Toiba. Headley also said that Lashkar-e-Toiba chief Zakir Rahman Lakhvi told him about a botched-up operation in India by Lashkar operative Muzammil Butt. Here are more revelations by David Headley.
Terrorist David Coleman Headley deposed for the 3rd day on Thursday in a Mumbai court via video conferencing. Continuing his string of startling revelations, Headley told the special court that Ishrat Jahan was working for the Lashkar-e-Toiba. Ishrat Jahan was a 19-year-old college student who was killed in an encounter in 2004 by the Gujarat police for her involvement in a plot to assassinate the then Gujarat Chief Minister Narendra Modi.
तो उसने तुरंत कहा कि इशरत जहां ये नाम मैंने सुना था और पुलिस के चकमक में मारी गई थी, इसलिए मुजम्मिल भट्ट को जकीर रहमान लखवी कोस रहा था। ये बात उसने आज बताई।
During the deposition, Headley also revealed that Lashkar-e-Toiba handlers sitting in Pakistan had coordinated the 26/11 Mumbai attacks.
नवंबर 2008 से 28 नवंबर 2008 तक 3 दिन जो हमला चल रहा था, उस हमला में हमलावर कोई उनके आका से, उनके हैंडलर से फोन से बातचीत करते थे। हमारी इंटेलिजेंस एजेंसी ने ये फोन कॉन्वर्सेशन पूरा इंटरसेप्ट किया था और ये बात स्पष्ट हुई थी कि अटैकर्स को पाकिस्तान से इंस्ट्रक्शन मिलती थी, जिससे आज डेविड ने कोरॉबरेट किया है।
The reason for calling Headley is to find out all aspects of what he knew regarding every incident in India. And certainly one of the questions that are involved, because this became a big issue. I mean, I don't want to digress on 26/11 because his evidence for 26/11 and the ISI's involvement in it and the LET's involvement, including that of all LET's highest operatives. That's the most important aspect as to what's being divulged today.
David Headley's revelations since Monday have increasingly pointed at Pakistan's hand in the terrorism targeting India. How this deposition is used as evidence remains to be seen. Akhilesh Suman's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
But political uncertainty continues in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. BJP leaders in the state will be meeting Governor N.N. Vora on the issue of government formation in the state today. The party had sought 10 days' time from the governor on the 2nd of February to resolve the matter. Governor N.N. Vohra met Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh on Tuesday and discussed the way forward in the state, which is currently under central rule. To break the ice and speed up the government formation process, BJP General Secretary Ram Madhav will meet PDP President Mehbooba Mufti in Srinagar on Saturday. The PDP has said that they need concrete action and not assurances on the way forward for the state. Jammu and Kashmir is without an elected government since the demise of the then Chief Minister Mufti Muhammad Saeed on the 7th of January. As neither the PDP nor the BJP staked claim to form the government, governor's rule was imposed on the 8th of January.
हम चाहते हैं जल्द से एक अच्छी सरकार बने, जम्मू कश्मीर को एक नई दिशा जो मिली थी उसी दिशा में एक बढ़ता हुआ कदम भारतीय जनता पार्टी देना चाहती है.
Moving to the international front now, in a major relief for Syria, world leaders today agreed to seek a nationwide cessation of hostilities in the war-torn country. The agreement came after talks in Munich in Germany. They've also agreed to expand delivery of humanitarian aid. However, the halt will not apply to the battle against Islamic State and the Al-Nusra Front. Significantly, the announcement comes at a time when the Syrian army, backed by Russian airstrikes, continue to advance in Aleppo. Thousands have fled Aleppo since both Syrian government and the opposition stepped up the offensive. At Munich, the US Secretary of State John Kerry admitted that the ceasefire plan was ambitious. The Syrian support group also said the stalled peace talks should resume as soon as possible. Meanwhile, Russian Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev added a word of caution as he warned foreign offensive in Syria could spark a world war, hinting at the Arab and US intervention in Syria.
Not easy discussions as was foreseen, but I would say rather positive. We committed to implement in full the UN Security Council resolution that was unanimously adopted in December. And now the real test will be on the implementation of what we have agreed tonight, but I think it is positive that we have achieved this common result, all united and all committed.
We welcome the effort that our friends are making to relieve the Syrian people, and must be for all Syrians. We must see action on the ground. If we see action and implementation, we will see you very soon in Geneva.
For some more international updates, here's a quick world wrap. Former Pakistan President Pervez Musharraf in a television interview said ISI trains Lashkar-e-Toiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed. He added terror attacks in India will not stop until the core issues of Kashmir is discussed. Musharraf's admission comes in line with Pak-American terrorist David Headley's statement. Headley has spoken of the involvement and collaboration between ISI and Lashkar-e-Toiba chief Hafiz Saeed during the 2008 attacks. The US State Department has denied any plans for a joint US-India Navy patrols as of now. There were speculations that both countries will conduct joint naval patrols, especially at a time when the US is amassing support from the Asian region against China over the South China Sea dispute. The Indian Navy has never carried out joint patrols with another country. The UN human rights investigator for Gaza and the West Bank today accused Israel of using excessive force against the Palestinians. Makarim Bibisono also asked Israel to release or charge all Palestinian prisoners held under lengthy administrative detention. However, the US-backed Israel accused UN of bias against it. French President François Hollande on Thursday reshuffled his cabinet ahead of the 2017 presidential elections. He brought back former Prime Minister Jean-Marc Ayrault to his cabinet to replace Laurent Fabius as Foreign Affairs Minister. Earlier, Ayrault was dropped in favor of Manuel Valls. Fabius will now head the French Constitutional Council. Other key portfolios remain unchanged in the reshuffle. And moving to some sports news now. In the 12th South Asian Games, India again excelled in athletics and shooting on the 7th day of the competition. In the track and field events, India claimed 10 gold, 7 silver and 1 bronze, while Indian shooters bagged 5 gold, 3 silver and 2 bronze. Gold medals in athletics came in women's 200, 1500 and 10,000 meters races, javelin throw, men's triple jump and shot put. In shooting, men's and women's 50 meters rifle prone individual and team events and men's 25-meter centerfire pistol bagged the yellow medal. India clinched a gold and a silver each in men's singles and women's doubles tennis. India has already broken its South Asian Games record of most number of gold medals at the multi-nation event. It had 118 gold in the 2006 edition, and now it already has 140 gold, 78 silver and 20 bronze, with 5 days still remaining. Sri Lanka a distant second on 25 gold, followed by Pakistan at the third place with 7 gold and Bangladesh at fourth with 4 gold medals. Moving to cricket, the second T20 cricket international between India and Sri Lanka will be played in Ranchi today. Shocked by an inexperienced Sri Lankan side in the first match, India would aim to regain their winning touch and keep the series alive. The hosts lost the first encounter of the 3-match series by 5 wickets on Tuesday. Indian captain Mahendra Singh Dhoni, who will be playing before his home fans, will hope to get a typical subcontinent wicket at a ground which is hosting its first ever T20 international. The Indian squad is likely to remain unchanged, but left-arm pacer Pawan Negi might get a chance to make his debut. That's it from us in this bulletin. Thanks for your time.